Maybe you need to climb, maybe you need to jump, maybe you need to make a riddle. It's like a kind of like escape room. Yes, exactly. Life is an escape room. The braver you are, the better it gets.
Through the dark, into the light.
Replicah says.
My first podcast. I'm so excited, actually. I'm also a little bit nervous, I must say, because as not native English speaker, I never did a kind of format like this where I just like speaking out freely. I was always like doing content which was planned and scripted and prepared, just because I limited myself to, because I thought I will not be able to talk freely about the topic or something like this. But instead of that, I will no longer limit myself, and I am open to try new things out without knowing where it's leading me. And this is also the theme about exactly that first podcast of mine. It's about to follow your own impulses, to follow your visions and ideas that come suddenly to you. If it's a dream, if it's just like an idea that hits your mind or something, these impulses are so important to follow. That's why I had this impulse to do this podcast and also video, to also film that. Because I was always making this like super advanced video production with B-roll things and effects and music and sound and background and script and everything. So it took me a lot of effort and a lot of time to prepare content like a creative human or like an artist, or I could say like every human has like an urge to share something. It doesn't matter what it is, but to share something with the world. So I had like a huge urge to share and to speak to my community, to say my mind, to share my mind, to learn stuff out of it. And I limited myself with this kind of content because I had so much to do in order to make content. And then an impulse came to my mind, just hit my brain or my heart or my stomach. I just thought, why not recording something in a kind of like a podcast, in a video, and then cut little videos out of it. So that's why I am following my impulse, and I will see where it leads me. So I have no idea if I stick to that plan or not. It's just like a kind of like try in a playful way to find out new ways to communicate with you people. Because people are wondering, how do I find my real purpose in life? Not about like what I should like work or what should I do just to fulfill the expectations from society, from parents, from friends, from the environment in general. No, I'm talking about from how does a human find the true purpose. You don't need to like believe in the concept of destiny in a kind of like a written book that is already written in stone when you come to planet Earth. I see it more like that you have like a gift, or you have like a kind of like a talent, which is your purpose to fulfill on planet Earth. And we are all looking to become that purpose. And some are like searching the entire life, and some are finding it very early. And I believe that like depression and all these kind of diseases we have is because we are not on the path that leads us to our purpose, and that makes us sick. I think that these impulses are messages leading us towards the way to where we should be or where we should go. So I had the impulse to do that. And I think there is no coincidence. I mean, like, for example, just to talk about it. Someone has the purpose to be a surfer, like a professional surfer riding the board on a wave. But this person is born in the mountains, somewhere far away from water. And there we could say, when you are not born on the right place, or not born in the right family, or not born with the right environment, that's it. It was not luck for you, so bad luck, this is it. But I think you will get impulses leading you towards the way you need to go. You know what I mean? So, for example, now this, let's say, boy, John, living in the mountains somewhere and has absolutely no idea what is his purpose. So everybody else, all his friends know what to do, know what to work and everything. So, and he feels like, I have no clue what I should do or what my purpose is. And he tries things out, whatever. So, but the thing is like, he get an impulse to lead him on his way he needs to be. This impulse will not lead him directly to be a server. You know what I mean? It's like just, it will not make sense at the beginning. He could be like two kind of people. Let's think about John is the kind of person who says like, why I should follow this impulse and talk to this guy, for example, or to meet those guy or what else. And the other John is like feeling, I have no clue why I should talk with that guy. I mean, let's try, just do it. And then he finds out this guy is living in Spain. I have no clue. 2 years later, he visits this guy in Spain. He sees the ocean the first time, and so on. So he tries to surf board and what else? And then slowly evolving, he discovers his like talent, or he discovers his deep passion for water or surfing. I mean, this was like a fast forward thing. Sometimes it takes like years that this is happening. What else? But now imagine the other John who will not following his impulses and maybe not visiting his guy he met just like minutes ago. And he will say, no, why should I leave my village? Life is good like it is, because he didn't knew anything else. So he will never find out. You know what I want to say. So that's why I believe that follow your impulses, like your inner like calling. Even if it's like strange, you have no clue, it doesn't make sense at all, follow it and try it out. Like me, I have no clue what this doesn't make sense. Why a podcast? But why not? I mean, why not? It came to my mind, so let's try it. This also leads me to like some kind of like example I had. I was actually reading that in a book, and I had like a wonderful, nice conversation with a friend at Replicah, which I was 3 weeks ago. So just like to have like a little side note, Replicah is a smaller regional event out of the Burning Man community, which I am, or I call myself a big part of it, or I am a part of it. sounds crazy. So that was my first Replicah. I had like some really, really deep and meaningful insights in my life and in my mind, in my feelings, and also really nice conversations with friends, people I really like, and also like strangers, which always leads me into kind of new reflections about myself, about humanity and everything. And this is also like a kind of like part which has a huge impact in my life. So I had a nice conversation about the story I was reading. So I started like this. And the story is like, imagine humans come to planet Earth, and we are born in a room, and we will die in that room. But actually it's only a room, it's only one room in a mansion that has millions of rooms. But you are born and you get told, this is your life, this is your only room, and this is it. What's outside? No clue. Nobody of us saw it before, and actually maybe there is nothing. Why should you try? It's fine here, it's fine. And it takes so much courage and effort. I mean, effort, it's at the end, it's not that much effort. It's just like it takes much courage to decide, even if my entire tribe here in this room told me there is nothing outside, or my family, or my environment, or my society, even if they told me like there is nothing outside, actually there exists nothing out of this room. And you get the courage to really get your hand on the door and open the door, and there you realize, what the fuck? There is a corridor with thousands of other rooms, but it's just the corridor. So do you have the courage to just like watch out, turn your head around, and then, oh my goodness. No, it could even be like it's cold outside. So you have to decide, okay, it's cold outside. It's not very comfy outside of this room. Should I stay or should I go? And then you have the balls to step out into this cold wind in the corridor or what else. And then you see these other rooms. And then you think, I don't have the keys for these other doors. I can give up. Let's go back. Let's go back to the room I know already. That's fine. But there are others which say like, no, why not? We can try. Okay. And you go and touch the other doorknob, and then you realize you don't need a key. It's open. And then you go to this room, and it's an even better room. Because the braver you are, the more balls you get, and the farther you walk, the better it gets. It's so insane. It's like a game. It's like level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4. You can always go back, but it takes courage and it works, because from the next room to the next room, it's always an adventure. Maybe you need to climb. Maybe you need to jump. Maybe you need to make a riddle. It's like a kind of like escape room. Yes, exactly. Life is an escape room. So the braver you are and the more fun you have doing that, the better it gets. And we had an amazing conversation about exactly that, because so many people die in that one room. And at the end, when they are dying and somebody says like, do you regret something? And they say, I wish I had earlier. I wish I did. I wish I dared. I wished I didn't thought so much about this and that. Stop thinking, just doing, just trying, just jumping, just climbing, just running, just crawling, to come back to these impulses which call you, is the adventure calling you, the inner knowledge that tells you there is more to explore. And the more we deny that inner calling, or that voice, or that vision, or that impulse, the more sick we get. And I even, that's a brave, that's an interesting and brave one. I even think the so-called midlife crisis is also because of that. Because before in life, we are young, we are free, we think like, yeah, we have time to leave the room, that's fine. We can stay in the room, we can stay comfy. We have the job, we have the environment, we know everything is safe, and the inner calling is dropping and dropping and dropping new impulses to say like, there are other rooms. There are other, and I also say like rooms. I don't speak like rooms about like leaving the country. It's like a metaphor. I hope you understand what I mean. It's like a metaphor. If you are not happy in a relationship, in a job, on a place, in an environment, in a friendship circle, it doesn't matter where. What is the room in this metaphor? When you are comfy, but it's constantly calling you. There is another room. I'm not speaking like, I need another relationship. I'm not happy because, Tinder is super fine. Ding, ding, ding. No, I'm speaking about like true inner calling, trying new things out, going somewhere, follow your heart in terms of when you are not happy or when it's get worse and worse. And I think the longer you deny or ignore your inner calling, the sicker you get. And that's why I also think midlife crisis exists. Because then suddenly you come into an age where things are so packed and so comfy in your room, but you know it's calling you somewhere, somehow, with signs, with other people showing up in your life, demonstrating it in front of you, and you get angrier and angrier. And why you get angry? Not because you are jealous and you are so like, oh my God, it's so sad, I'm such a poor person. No, you get angry because you are ignoring your inner calling. And you can play the game the next time when you are hurt by someone having the best life. Ask yourself, could this be that I want that? And I'm not speaking about like fancy cars and like super flexing. I mean, like social media flexing in front of everyone, like the best cars, the best holidays, the best something. No, I'm truly like saying, like, if you truly see someone having something you maybe want, or just a feeling or something, ask yourself why it's like upsetting me. And maybe it's because you are ignoring your inner calling, your inner impulse. One huge impulse I had, so to come back to the Burning Man story, why it is such a huge impact in my life. I had this impulse and I was following it. It was such a crazy impulse. That's why I remember the story of John, who were born on a mountain far away from water and like coming closer to his destiny to be a server. So I was always a crazy girl. I always tried things out. I was like super brave. I was like doing stuff. I had so much energy and I did so many things. And I came far in my life with that attitude and with that energy and with that passion for life. But I did so many things not because of my environment. Because when my environment said, why you want to do that? No, I mean, it's comfy here. Stay. And I am not blaming them at all. Not at all. I'm also not frustrated because of them. I didn't took some chances because of myself, because I limited myself. I was like listening too much. I was worried too much. I was afraid. Not some things I did super bold. And I am asking me why I did that. And sometimes I was not listening to my impulse because I was afraid. That's strange. So sometimes I'm like, kind of like... Discrepancy. Okay, discrepancy. To be like sometimes super bold and super anxious, not trying anything out. And I think this is maybe exactly that. The one who is brave, who is bold, who try things out, who is not afraid to fail, is my true being. And the one who gets like anxious because this could offend someone, or the others said, or the others thought about me, or this and that and this and that, is absolutely the opposite of my true inner being I should be. So the more I'm more like this, the negative one, the worse it gets. The more sick I get, the more I'm leading towards the depression. And the more I try and say like, I don't care what the others say. It's really like, I mean, it's like it's clear. The more they say like, I don't leave the room. There's nothing outside. The more I dare, the more fun it is, because I know I can do it. And the more I try, the more I prove to myself that I can do it. So like one particular deep moment I had in my life, like I told you before, like with this sometimes bold and sometimes not. And then I stuck. Everything was actually fine. It was not really bad. The room was okay, you know what I mean? It was actually pretty okay. I wasn't hurt or like I had enough money. I had a lot of money, more than now, but it will come again. But I wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. So just to let you know, in the year 2000, I was in art school. I was approximately 15 years old. I saw a picture of Burning Man. And there was this like dusty sky and this post-apocalyptic environment, like with these cars and machines and bicycles. I was just like, what the heck is this? I saw that. And back then I already knew I want to be a photographer, which I did afterwards, after art school. So I saw this photography and I said to myself, I want to go there and I want to make art there. I want to make pictures. I want to go there. Where is it and how do I get there? And I realized it is impossible for me to go. It's too expensive. It's too far away. I just counted it. It is 5,700 miles away from me. This is 10,000 kilometers. For a 15-year-old girl without like being rich or being in a family who says like, no worry, we go. Let's do this. Or like knowing someone who was ever there. I mean, I didn't have like an uncle saying like, yes, I was there. I take you with me next time. I didn't know anybody, not even I heard of someone being there. So I thought like, okay, that's crazy. One day I will be there. So then my life came. I made like my apprenticeship as a photographer, 4 years. It was a hard time. I lived my life as a photographer, singer, performer, musician, model, and everything. And then I came into the like business life. I was working from 21 until like years. And after 17 years in my life, earning a lot of money, having a good life, actually nice life, but I didn't have like kind of like a new perspective going somewhere. I knew this will lead me into like a kind of like a dead end. And I truly felt that. And I had no idea what to change, because sometimes people say like, I have no clue what to change. And that's the exact thing where impulses coming your way and you need to be aware of listening to them. And if you are constantly trashing yourself with the life from outside, like social media, party, family, kids, I don't say that this is not something good, but you need room for yourself to listen to your inner voice. And that was exactly my problem. I was more listening to my environment, my family, my friends, my partner, my everything. Everything was so loud around me. It was fine and it was good, but it was so loud around me that I was not able to listen to my inner voice or my inner heart. And then I had that dream. I had that dream about Burning Man. And as I said, I didn't have like a friend who were there, or I had like someone that I know. I don't even have like a clue why it came to my mind. I dreamt of it, and it called me loud and clear, and it said, you need to come. And then I had like two choices: to not listening to this signs, or to just like trying to find a way to go there. And how you do that. So then I took my notebook and I was like searching in the internet. I came to that Burning Man platform. So I was like researching. I had like an extra mile to go, but that was fine because I had like this kind of like vision to go. So I was like searching in the internet, and then I found like a kind of like contact in Switzerland. 2 people, they are burners. So I wrote an email and I said like, hey, it's me. I had no clue. How does this work? I had no clue. So then I was like writing an email saying like, hey, it's me, Replicah. I'm an artist. I'm a really creative person. I was a scout like almost 10 years in my life. I was a scout as a child. So I know how to build tents, to make fire, to like build stuff. I was always building the kitchen area and the sanitary area. In the forest, it's not like shikimiki bling bling. No. This is you build your own kitchen, and that means the tables and everything, and also the toilets and like how like to make it comfy. So I know how to do that. So I wrote everything, of course not the details, but I wrote everything into the email, and I said like I can make pictures. I'm a photographer. I can film. I can sing. I can make workshops. I can do whatever you want, I would like to participate. How can I do that? What's happening? How can I come in contact with humans that know how to go to Burning Man? And then he wrote me back and he said, it's amazing to get in contact with more creative people. The story began, and he invited me. It was like 9 months before I went to Burning Man the first time. So just like that, you have like a relation in how time and things are going. So I had like really to walk this extra mile. So he invited me to a meeting in Zurich. I was living in Bern at that time. So then I had to drive like 1.5 hours to Zurich to meet these absolute strangers. And then I entered this meeting space. It was kind of like a creative loft, huge loft with people everywhere. Like some were like crafting something, some were making music, some made DJ, some were talking to each other. It was like, what's that? And I absolutely came from a totally different environment. So it was super interesting for me. And I was like so hungry for it. So I followed that impulse to go, even if I had no clue why should I go. Everyone said like, why you want to go? That doesn't make sense. You don't know anybody who was there, why you should go, and why you spend so much money to go so many miles. I have no clue. It doesn't make sense, but now it makes sense when I look back. My life changed entirely. And the rest is history. And I was like helping and making this first official camp, which we still have at Burning Man. And I went already 3 times. And like I told you, I went the first time to Replicah Burn, and now I am in this community surrounded by all these creative people. I was like dreaming my entire life, be surrounded with so many creative people. Nothing against my other people from my previous life, absolutely nothing. I loved them, or I still love them. I still have respect for them, but I was like I had a longing to be surrounded with creative people, like pushing me constantly out of the comfort zone. That when I say, hey guys, I would like to leave the room in this mansion, to be surrounded with people who say like, hey, we go with you, or yes, we hold the door open for you, or we help you climb that rope out of the window, or what else. That's an insider. And I was always longing for that. And then I had this impulse to go there, and now I'm here. And the moral of the story is, when you are feeling sad, depressed, sick, it's a sign that you are not listening to your impulses. No matter why you are not listening to it, that's your struggle or your thing, but that's a sign that you are not listening to your impulses, which are coming to you. It may be in a dream, in a sign, in a human, in a message, in an idea that is coming out of nowhere. When you are not following in that impulse, you never know. So moral of the story is, follow your impulses. Don't think about it too much. And that's why I made this podcast, or my first episode of podcast. And I'm super curious what you say about it and where it's leading me, because now I'm actually following an impulse. And I wanted to share that with you. So I wish you an extremely beautiful day. Thank you for listening. And don't forget to follow your impulses. Love you.
Replicah says.